You're live. Good morning, everyone. As always, good morning to George and good morning to everyone else who may be, I'll leave that there for a moment, who may be watching. A special mention to Chloe and Poppy and Joseph and, oh my goodness, Tilly Rose, who often join in at school. So hello, Chloe, Joseph, Poppy and Tilly. I hope you had some good news yesterday. I had some very good news yesterday and I was very keen to share it with you. Congratulations. For those of you that aren't sure what's going on, we entered a virtual 500 meter competition and we had some very good results. Very good results. So officially we have the third fastest over 500 meters in year one, and we have the third fastest in 500 meters in year four. Good morning, Lucy. And we also had some very good results elsewhere as well. So I'm very pleased. Thank you all for your efforts. That if you did join in with that, and thank you to teachers who organised that too. It's just a little bit of a service announcement this morning. Good morning, Lucy. Have I just said that? Losing my brain this morning. It's a good job we're here to focus it, isn't it? It's a very good job. Good job we're here to focus our minds. I might remember whether I've said hello to Lucy or not. Hello, Lucy. Just in case. Turn down your computer volume. George, that's not my job. You have a button on your screen. You can turn it down. I have no idea how to turn my microphone down. And I also think it's better that it's up louder too. Just use your volume button. Just press volume down, volume down, volume down. I know what you're saying. My volume may be loud, but I would rather it be loud than quiet. Okay, then we're good. If you're good, I'm good. Okie doke. Let's talk about our question for today. Excuse me. Question for today. Yesterday, I asked you to think about the goal that you might set yourself in sport and exercise, PE even. And today, I'm going to set you the question of thinking about your personal goal. So what is your goal personally? So that could be linked to school, maybe something that you want to achieve at school. It might be something that you want to achieve at home with your family. It might be that you want to I said good morning 3 times. Good morning, Lucy. This is 4 times. And I will check my emails afterwards. Thank you for letting me know. It might be that it's something to do with your emotions that you want to set a goal on, that you want to feel a certain way after something, perhaps. May even be linked to a hobby that you take part in regularly. So I know we've been talking about expressing yourselves and things that bring you joy. Good morning, Tegan. Things that bring you joy and things that you share with that are expressions and what makes you you. Maybe there's something that you can set yourself a goal in for that as well. So we've got lots of people with us today, which is great, and we're going to begin standing up today. So let's find our space and we're just going to look forwards. And yesterday we focused on breathing in through our nose and out through our mouth. Today we're going to do a little bit of breathing. And we're going to do that in through our nose and out through our nose, but we're going to, again, make that ocean sound as we breathe out, okay? So we're just going to try that for a moment. Again, don't have to, but I encourage you to maybe try breathing with your eyes closed. And if not, definitely sort of lose the focus. So don't concentrate on anything in particular, because you want to focus inwards when we're doing this. Try and feel what's happening in your body. So we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. And again, in through the nose, out through the nose. Notice what's happening to your chest and shoulders, in through your nose, out through your nose. I want you to think about your hands and be conscious with your hands and where they are. So last time we did standing in our hero pose. You can maybe do this as you're breathing. Maybe you just want to bring your hands together at the front of your body. And maybe you just want to rest them here by your heart. Or maybe you're happy just by your side. Okay, and what we're going to do now that we've done that, we can keep breathing, keep that focus on your breath as much as you can. So whenever during this session you're thinking, oh, I must remember to breathe, we're going to breathe like that today, in through your nose, out through your nose, just for a different way. And what we're going to do, we're just going to let our arms hang loose, and I want you just to twist, and let your body just kind of loosen. Let your arms hit on the side. So this reminds you, there's a little musical instrument that I'm sure every school in the world has, where you just sort of twist. You just twist the little wooden handle, and it's got two little balls on the end, and it just kind of, like a tambourine, just kind of rattles at the top. That's what this reminds me of. So allow a little bit of movement in your knees and your legs, and just be a bit silly with it, really. So as much as, I mean, a lot of this is probably quite serious, and I talk about focusing on your breath and focusing on what's happening inside, and this can kind of just be you loose in your house, in your room, at school, where nobody's watching, nobody's judging. You can just be a little bit silly here and just let your body kind of move around, loosen the shoulders. Give yourself a little pat on the back each time. And maybe come a little bit looser in the knees and the ankles as you twist. I can see a few emojis on my screen. So I'll have to go and have a look, see what the comments are in a second. Super, and slowly just relax. Bring back maybe that conscious breath, so thinking about your breath and your breathing. And I'm going to show you a forward lunge, and I'm going to show you that to the side. So make sure you've got enough space to step forwards and have your arms out to the side. Okay, I'm going to show you this way. I might have to change though and face the screen depending on what we've got. So what I'm going to do, and you can do it with me or you can watch and then copy, you're just going to take a step forwards into a lunge. Okay, and we're going to go into this lunge pose here. Now, what I would like you to try and do is with your back foot, try and get your heel to the ground. Now, you can do this by just twisting the foot so it's not straight as we would normally do a stretch, okay? And you can then get a little bit deeper in this lunge by having a little twist in that foot. So instead of it pointing forwards, maybe it points out just that, I'm going to use some maths term, 45 degrees is fine. Anything more than that is a bit of a different stretch, but for up to 45 degrees is fine, or just pointing to the corner of the room is fine, okay? So we're just going to hold this position here, and you should start to feel, so if your heel's down at the back, you should start to feel a nice stretch at the back of the legs here. If you're not feeling that stretch, then you can either slide a little bit further back with that, okay, or come a little bit more forward with the knee. Now, remember that with a lunge, we never want this knee to go in front of our toes, okay? And if you're still not quite feeling that stretch, maybe bring your arms up high and focus on your breath here, okay? So breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And as you breathe in, feel the breath go into the back of the leg here. And also pull from your hips, pull them in together. So imagine there's a center line going right the way down to the floor. Bring your body to meet in there. So just a conscious effort there of bringing that in, okay? Now I'm going to show you from the other side. What we're going to do is come out to face, so the inside, so whichever way you're leaning, this leg should be on the outside. Okay, so we're not turning backwards, we're coming forwards. And what I want you to try and do, we're going to do a little cartwheel position. So we're going to cartwheel down. This hand comes down first, and this hand is going to reach up to the sky. You can kind of pivot on that back foot now. The heel doesn't have to be on the ground. And you're going to reach up high, breathing in, and just feel a stretch in the back and just hold. And you should now feel another stretch in the back of the leg here as well. So we're just stretching and strengthening here, breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. And each time you breathe in, you should feel more and more comfortable by just filling the lungs and the back. Make sure you're nice and relaxed. Appreciate the little burn or the little shake. And breathe it out. You can bring the hand down to the ground and then come up and come back. And slowly step back up to where we started, okay? So we're going to do the same thing again, this time on the other leg. What do we have there? Hi, Stanley. And I can see some unicorns from Tegan as well. Thanks, Tegan, for sharing some unicorns with me today. It's just what I needed, a little bit of unicorn. Okay, so we're going to take the other leg this time. So I use my right leg to step forwards. This time I'm going to take my left leg forwards. So I'm going to step. And again, get comfortable in this lunge, okay? So it might be that you just slide that foot back a little bit, make sure you got your heel down. And again, that foot's kind of pointing to the corner of my room at that 45 sort of degree angle. And I want to feel that. And now that I've come forwards, I can feel that stretch nicely. Excellent. And remember that the leg should never be locked out, okay? We don't want it to be dead straight. Should just be a little give in the knee. So a soft knee always. And again, we can reach up and enjoy that little extra bit of stretch. Remember to pull the legs into the middle without moving where your foot placement is. So you're holding your tummy muscles all at the same time. Okay, and then remember, we're going to just turn to the side. So my back's to you now, so you might have your back to me as well. That's fine. You can just listen and feel the body. And we're going to do that cartwheel again. So the back hand is coming down. So cartwheel down, back hand comes to the floor, and this hand naturally has to move out of the way. So now what I'm going to do is breathe in, bring the arm up. And you can have a little look up to the sky with each breath. Comes up a little bit higher. Feel the shoulders and the chest with some air. And you feel a little stretch in the gluteus maximus. If you were here last week, you remember where the gluteus maximus is, which muscle that is. And don't do what I tend to do, which is pull from the neck. Just tend to be relaxed. Okay, you can look up with relaxed neck muscles, relaxed face muscles, and slowly bring that down to the ground. You can come back up to this standing position, and you can step forwards to meet your feet back together. Perfect, well done. So a nice deep stretch for the hips, nice work in the shoulders as well. We've got some mobility in the shoulders, really, really good work. So we're going to come down to table, okay, which is something we've done quite a bit. And we're going to start off the same way that we've done every day this week, I think, with a little bit of cat-cow. And I wonder if you've understood now how you breathe to gain and go into those positions. So I'm going to give you a second to maybe think how you can go a little bit ahead of me. See if you've learned how to control your breathing to go into cat and cow pose a little bit on your own. So remember, hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and we're going to control our breathing in through the nose. Feel the belly, looking up, and breathe out through your nose today. And bring the back up. Feel the belly, feel the lungs. Into your cow pose. Remember to do that backwards C. And another C with your shoulders pushing up high. And pushing with your hands into the ground. And your back's lifting. And breathing in. So do this in your own time now, okay, with your own breath. In and out. Really try and listen to your body as you do this. What we're going to do with one of them, we're going to do it in a wave, okay? So I'm going to start here. As we breathe out, I want you to start with your tailbones, okay? So start with the bones at the bottom of the spine. You're just going to curl them in, and the rest are going to follow like a wave, okay? Mexican wave style. So breathing out. Might have to breathe in first. Breathe out. So tailbones tuck under. Then the rest of the Mexican wave style. And then finally your head tucked underneath. And then we're going to do it in reverse. As we breathe in, the head's going to come first. Followed by the top of the back, and then the middle of the back, and then the bottom of the back, and we'll come to a neutral position here and relax. So you can just do a little bit of side to side here, a little bit of wiggling movement, just feel a little bit comfortable, stretch out anything that might feel a little bit tight. So again, you have been really listening to your body this week, really thinking about which parts feel good, which parts maybe feel a bit tight, maybe feel a bit sore. So if you take a couple of breaths here, what feels good? What might need a little stretch? If it's your shoulders, maybe come back a little bit, stretch your shoulders out. If it's your back, maybe bump your hip to the sides. Okay, maybe you want to just do a little twist this way if it's one side feeling a bit tight, or twist the other way. Just give it a little wiggle. Make yourself feel comfortable. Fantastic. Okay, so from here, we're going to tuck the toes underneath, okay? And we're going to come up into a plank position. So you might need to slide your hands a little bit further forward. Push up into a plank and hold, okay? We're going to hold it here. And I think it was Monday we did a little bit, maybe Tuesday actually. We did a little bit of plank to downward dog. So if you can, hold this for a moment. We're just going to lift up with the hips, come up high into downward dog, okay? So we're just lifting from the shoulders, lift from the hips. Remember I said like somebody's pulling the tops of your, the top of your waistband up into the sky, and then come down, back into your plank position. Okay, we're going to do that 2 more times, okay? So come up high with the hips. Breathing in, try and do it with your breath. It's always easier with breath, with your breath. So breathing in and breathe out. Down to the plank. And one more, breathing in. Come up into downward dog. And breathe out. come down to plank, and slowly, if you can, really slow, down to the ground and hold it here. Fantastic. We can do a little cobra here. So just use your back, give yourself a little stretch, feel it in the bottom of your back here. Breathing in, breathing out. Okay, and what we're going to do, I want to see if you can push yourself back up into that plank position. So one push up. Okay, so hands underneath your shoulders, toes tucked under, and 3, 2, 1, breathe in. Push up, fantastic. And relax. And you can put your knees down, back into our tabletop position. Fantastic. If you need to, we'll take a second here. We'll just shake the arms, shake the legs, wiggle around. Okay, what we're going to do, going to go into one more pose before we do a little bit of seated meditation before we end. Okay, so we're going to do one more of these. So we're going to come forwards with one leg. So I want you to breathe in, bring your leg back, and breathe out. Bring this leg, just going to come in front. Now, from here, you might want to shuffle the other leg back, and this leg is going to come just in front, and this is called Pigeon Pose, okay? So you've got one knee forwards, and your foot's kind of just in front of your waist here, okay? And what you can do from here, just to stretch the muscles in the hips and the thighs, okay? What you can do is come down onto your forearms, just here, and feel a little stretch. Maybe you are more comfortable up high in your hands, and you can stay there. That's fine. And if you think, oh, this feels quite nice, and I want a bit more of a stretch, you can go straight down. Head can come to the ground, and you can feel the stretch just there. For me, that's a bit too much. So just here is good for me. And we're just going to breathe into it. Okay, remember, find where you need to focus, so I can feel the stretch in my hip and in my hamstring. So I'm going to breathe in, send some air in there, and breathe out. Okay. Just a safety point, if you're feeling any soreness in your knees whilst doing this, then that's not right, okay? There's no muscles in your knees, so you shouldn't feel any soreness in your knee. And if it does feel sore or feels like you're straining in the knee, that's not a good sign, okay? So always, if you're feeling a bit of strain in the knee, I would come back up higher and maybe release some of that stretch. So bring it back a little bit, and maybe just do a deep lunge like this, okay? Shouldn't ever feel a twist or a strain in the knee. From here, whilst we're here, we can just shuffle that knee back up. Come to here, and we'll do the other side, okay? So again, shake it off. Deep breath in, leg comes up, and breathe out. Bring the leg forwards, round it comes, and try and get this foot in front of the other. Then we'll just slide into a nice stretch, okay? And we're going to then do what we feel most comfortable with. So you can stay here, or you can come down onto the forearms, okay? Or if you want to, you can lay completely flat. Head can come down. That's my aim for the end of the month. Can I get my head down in Pigeon Pose? Maybe that's my goal from yesterday. Flexibility and hip. Again, breathing in to where you need the stretch. Breathe out. Maybe come a little bit lower. Breathe in. And you'll feel the stretch. And with each breath, you should feel more and more comfortable in your position. Okay, and sensibly and calmly and with your breath, come back to where you started, back into table. And we're going to finish today in a cross-leg position. So legs are coming to a cross. We're going to actually, before we do that, I just want you to bring your feet together here. And we're just going to do a little bit of self-care. treatment, a bit of therapy. I thought today's if I was going to name all of my sessions, today would be Thursday's therapy. And I just wanted you to think a little bit about how your body's reacting to this form of exercise. Okay, and maybe if you've got your feet out, you can maybe give yourself a little massage in the feet and the toes. If you're feeling a little bit like your ankle could do with a little bit of care, bit of therapy, maybe just feel around, use your thumb just to feel around and make your ankles feel good, both sides whilst you're here. Use your thumb as a bit of a pressure point and just create a little bit of sensory feedback for the part of your body that you probably don't get to think about very often. When do we ever give ourselves a foot massage, or stretch the ankles, maybe even the calves, just give them a little press and a little massage just for fun. And as you come to an end here, we're going to firstly do a cross legs, but I want you to consciously cross the leg over that you wouldn't normally have as your leg. So I would normally cross my legs with my right leg over the top, okay? And this is not overly comfortable. I'm not very good at sitting legs crossed, but I'm working on it. But this is my comfortable side. What I want you to do is switch that over so the other leg comes under. And again, I want you to be mindful of how this feels. And straight away, I can tell you that it feels odd. Again, that might just be me. If it didn't feel odd for you, let me know. If it did feel odd for you, let me know. And just think, I've never thought about that before. And this is about being mindful, doing things in a way that makes us aware of what is uncomfortable, what doesn't feel right, and how can we fix it, and identifying those problems a little bit early on. So we're just sitting, just breathing, with our legs crossed in an unfamiliar way. And if you want to here, you can just begin to close your eyes and do your little body check. Maybe if you want a little bit of therapy, a little bit of self-awareness, and a little bit of a hug, give yourself a little hug today. So maybe come out of that into tuck position and give yourself a little hug. Find yourself in your own little bubble, your own little space, and do your check-in like this today. So how is Mr. Forehead feeling today? Is he feeling stressed, or is he relaxed? Has he maybe got a trickle of sweat? What about in the mouth, the tongue, the jaw? Make sure they're relaxed and resting. Maybe today rest the tongue on the top of your mouth. Interesting fact that the tongue can rest on the top of the mouth. Especially as we're breathing in through our nose. Maybe just be mindful of the tongue just sitting on the top of the mouth today as you breathe in through your nose and out through your nose. And then just feel your bottom, your sit bones, feel them just comfortable and relaxed in the ground. And finish with your toes, just maybe spread those out a little bit wider. Give them a bit more of a firmer grip on the ground, a bit of a wider base. And if your shoulders are tense here, allow them to relax. You can still give yourself that hug, but with relaxed shoulders and relaxed back. And just let your head hang a little bit lower and feel that stretch on your neck.
and maybe take a moment to think about what your goal is. What's your personal goal for today, for tomorrow, for this week, for this month? Maybe just a life goal. Maybe that's too deep. And slowly, if your eyes were closed, bring them to open. And I'm going to, from here, say goodbye. And thank you very much for joining in. Thank you to everyone who's joining in later on as well. As always, keep letting me know if you're joining in later on in the day or at a different time. And I'll see you again very soon. Bye, Stanley. You probably left a little while ago, but goodbye. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining, and see you again tomorrow.